Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Charles Sabansi. I want to welcome you guys to another episode of the Dreamerspro Show, where we cover everything from sports, hot topics, classic debates, entertainment, and where we give you guys a fresh perspective on things and how we see them. And today we got a pretty interesting show for you guys that we definitely want to get into. But before we get into it, please make sure you like the video and subscribe to the channel. Now, as y'all know, there was a very big game. Well, there were two big games yesterday in the NBA between the Knicks and the Miami Heat, and of course the Lakers and the Golden State Warriors. Now, going into that game, I didn't really have any feelings. I had made a prediction about that series, but I didn't remember what my prediction was. So I didn't really have any particular feelings going into that game. But what I do remember is how well the Lakers were playing in the beginning of that game, especially in the first quarter, and how aggressive Anthony Davis was at the beginning of that game. I believe that AD set the tone for that team. I also think that the Lakers made the right decision by putting Jared Vanderbilt on Stephen Curry. Obviously, putting a very big body on Curry is going to affect him in some way. Stephen Curry wasn't his usual self, although he did shoot 41% from the field and 46% from the three. But that 41.7% from the field is where, I would have expected him to be a little bit more efficient. And maybe that had something to do with Steph just not making shots. It probably had something to do with the Lakers defense, but ultimately the Lakers ended up being victorious at the end of the game. And as y'all know, Draymond Green, who's probably the most outspoken NBA player that we have going today, who has his own podcast, after the game, he went on his podcast, and I actually came across his podcast this morning, where he basically explained where he thought things went wrong for the Golden State Warriors, and where he thinks the team can make adjustments moving forward to ensure that they're victorious in Game 2 and also moving forward in this series. But before we get into his comments, this video is brought to you by sponsor Aura, who's also the official sponsor of the T-Wolves. Do you know what the fastest growing crime in America is today? It's identity theft. Imagine trying to log into your email only to see that your password has been changed. Then you start getting weird notifications from your bank and credit cards, only to find out that all of your personal and sensitive information has been totally compromised. If you think it can happen to you and your family, just know that in 2020, over 49 million Americans were victims to identity theft, costing them a combined $56 billion. That is why we are excited to partner with Aura, who's the sponsor of this video. Aura is the #1 identity theft and financial fraud protection. Aura monitors the dark web and alerts you if any of your passwords and accounts have been breached. And funny enough, after using Aura, I discovered some of my credentials were floating around in the dark web, and the app showed me exactly when and where the breach happened. In addition, Aura allows you to set spending alerts, and they'll notify you of any suspicious transactions. Aura is 4 times faster than any of its competitors in alerting you if someone is trying to open a credit card or obtain a loan using your name. And remember this, every 14 seconds, someone becomes a victim of identity fraud. Don't let it happen to you. Now click the link in the description and try Aura for free for 2 weeks and see if any of you or your family's personal information has been compromised. Start your free trial at aura.com/dreamerspro. And when you try Aura, by using the link in the description below, also know that you're supporting this channel. Thank you. So what we want to do is quickly play Draymond Green's breakdown of the series so far and where he thinks is going. So what we want to do is play his comments now, and then we're going to come back and react to his analysis. Take a listen to what Draymond had to say there.
Lakers took tonight 117-112 to steal home court advantage. Pretty frustrating game for myself. AD had a great performance, 30 points, 23 boards, 5 assists. Steph, 27, 6 and 3. Lewin, another 20 rebound game with 23 boards. It was great to see JP find himself with 21 points. But let's just get into it a little bit, and we will talk about these things. Number one, AD having the game that he had. We have to do a better job there. I think when you allow a great player like AD to kind of get a couple easy looks early, it changes things for him. See the ball go in early, and he had it going. I think he was 9 for 10 at the half, but just those couple early mid-range jumpers, really allowed him to find this rhythm. And once you let a great player find their rhythm, it's tough. It's tough to break it. And, we never did. And, he had a dominant performance. We can do a much better job at the point of attack, I think, and especially in pick and roll. I thought he got a lot of them out of the pick and roll. So our pick and roll coverage can be better. It sometimes takes a little getting used to, especially, series to series when you completely change your game plan. Sometimes it takes some adjustments. So we'll make those adjustments and, get back accustomed to, the pick and roll coverage that we'll need to play against these guys and, overall be better and not give up those easy ones to start the game and let, especially AD, let him get a rhythm. They also had 4 blocks, I thought, which was, I didn't think we challenged him a ton at the rim, which, still was able to get some good blocks. He got the one on Steph's, underhand kind of runner / floater / finger roll / whatever you want to call the shot, but that was a very big block. So you got to give him credit. He dominated on both sides of the floor, and that's on myself to try to change that. And I'll take that one on the chin. Steph, 27 points. He really got it going there late in that fourth quarter. It'll be good to kind of figure out how to get him loose. Jared Vanderbilt did a really good job defending. You have to give him a lot of credit. Schroeder also did a good job defending. Have to give him some credit as well. But I think there are some things that we can get to free stuff up a little bit more. And especially with me when I'm on the floor, got to stay out of foul trouble and stay on the floor. But when I'm on the floor, I think there are some things that I can do to get him the ball. So I think we can be better there.
So you heard what Draymond Green had to say there. Here are my thoughts. I thought he made some sound points, without a doubt. He made some very, very good points. Obviously, the Golden State Warriors were, fouling left and right. It was incredible. If I look at the free throw discrepancy, the Lakers attempted 29 free throws and they made 25. Kudos to them. They shot 86.2% from the free throw line as a team. If you look at the Golden State Warriors, they only attempted 6 free throws that entire game. Now they did make 5 out of 6 free throws, but that's still a lot of free throws to attempt. Now some people say, well, they're jump shooting team and they're going to attempt a lot of threes. Well, the Lakers attempted 25 threes. The Golden State Warriors, they attempted 53 threes. So that number also tells you something, that they were not attacking the basket as much. But nevertheless, that's a very, very big free throw discrepancy. And I think the only way to combat this is to basically force the referees to call a foul, which means attacking the basket. And that's not really the way the Golden State Warriors play, right? These guys are finishing at the rim. They're trying to finish without contact. Stephen Curry tries to elude contact. He doesn't really like to play through contact. That's just not the nature of his game, right? It's not like a Giannis or something like that. So obviously that needs to change. Now some people say, well, it's a conspiracy. The Lakers are getting more calls. Hey, listen, the Golden State Warriors are no slouch. They are the most valuable team in the NBA by a good margin. They're worth over $6 billion. So it's not like as if the Lakers are playing against a no-name franchise. This is the Golden State Warriors. They're the current dynasty in the NBA. So I think that organization would have a lot of, respect from the referees. And if they're doing well and they're winning championships, I think that works well for the league. So I don't want to go down that route because I can't really substantiate that. However, what I will say is if they want to get more, if they want to get more calls, they need to attack the basket more and force the refs to call fouls. Or number 2, foul less. If you listen to what Steve Kerr, the head coach of the Golden State Warriors, said yesterday, keep your hands up. Keep your hands up. What does that mean? Play defense without fouling. Stop reaching. Stop swiping down for the ball. Right? Stop giving the Lakers easy opportunities to score. But the other thing is this as well. The Lakers dominated that game from the paint because the Lakers get a lot of their offense in the paint. You have Anthony Davis rolling to the rim. Let's look at Anthony Davis for a moment. Let's look at the stat sheet for a second. Okay, Anthony Davis attempted. Okay, LeBron attempted 4 free throws. AD attempted 8 free throws. Dennis Schroeder attempted 10. These are guys attacking the basket. They're putting a lot of pressure on the rim. A lot of pressure. And you got to think about this. Factor in all of the shots that they attempted at the rim. They didn't get called. But just the constant activity around the basket. Golden State plays a totally different brand of basketball. I don't want to get into the excuses business. I think the Golden State Warriors are good enough to bounce back. They certainly have the pedigree and the history to do so. They've won championships under various circumstances, but now they got to go out there and win a game on the road, which I believe they're perfectly capable of. I don't believe the Golden State Warriors are one of those teams that's going to have a letdown and give up a game 2. I don't believe that. Not this team. I mean, not this team. I'm not going to bet against Stephen Curry and these guys. But for now, the Lakers, that was a very, very impressive win. I think Draymond Green is 100% on the money. And I think we're in for a very, very entertaining series, as it should be. As it should be, because I think, there are a lot of storylines that can come out of this series. But for now, the Lakers drew blood first. And right now, they're the ones that should be getting all the praise until we get to game 2, which I believe is on Thursday. So these are my thoughts and opinions. What I simply want to know from you guys is what are your thoughts? What are your thoughts, on the analysis that Draymond Green laid out there for you guys? What are your thoughts on some of the things I had to say? And ultimately, how do you see this thing moving forward heading into game 2? Whatever you guys think, leave your thoughts and comments in the comment section, and we hit you guys up on the next show.